Hey guys, welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. I'm super excited to be testing here. It's April 5th and it is still light outside. It's almost 6 o'clock p.m., a little bit past rush hour. I'm going to take the car through some neighborhoods here. This is a route I've done in the past. There's one area that it always screws up. We're going to see if it does it correctly this time. All right, so we are dialed in. As you can see down here, I am not doing anything with the accelerator or the brake pedal. All I need to do is double tap down and the car immediately takes off. No hands, no interventions, hopefully, throughout this drive, and hopefully no disengagements either. We're gonna see how well it does here. So an intervention, for those of you that are new, counts as me taking over to accelerate when the car is stumbling. Or basically, another thing I haven't been tracking that regularly is if I change the speed. So right now it's set to go 5 miles over the speed limit. So it will recognize the speed limit signs and then go immediately 5 miles over. And you can adjust that in the settings. And then a disengagement. Okay, so here we are waiting now to turn right. It's looking for some traffic. Unfortunately, I don't have a 360 camera here yet, but once I get that, you'll be able to see the left. There is a gap right now if it chooses to take it, and it takes it perfectly. Very well done. That was beautiful. Disengagement counts as me stepping on the brake pedal or jerking the steering wheel to take over completely. So we're going to track the interventions and we're going to track the disengagements on this drive and the drives thereafter to see if this software improves over time. So this is a very short trip, but what we're going to do is turn right onto Higgins here off of Gulf Road. It's kind of an interesting intersection, so I'll show you here on the map. It's this. Usually these roads are parallel to each other, Gulf and Higgins, but right at this spot right here they cross. So it's an interesting intersection, and you're going to see here as it comes up on the intersection, it gets over early enough. If you watched a lot of my earlier videos from October, November, December, even into January and February, believe it or not, it would not be able to get over quickly enough. And it was probably 60% of the time that it was missing this turn. See, now here it's doing it correctly. So this is a big improvement. I'm very happy. I did note that in my previous video, link above there where you can see I mentioned that it had improved, and that is a big plus for me, a big sign that either the Tesla engineers addressed it for that specific location, or that hopefully, I believe this to be the case, since when I first got 10.10.2, it was not doing that correctly, and now it is. I think the neural nets are actually helping it to get better. Oh no, there's a Canadian goose. That would have been an interesting one. Oh, if I had been like 2 seconds later. That guy's chasing a Canadian goose off the road. Oh my gosh, if I had been like 2 seconds later, it stopped all the traffic there and there was a goose flying away. So the human got out of his car and was flapping his hands to get the goose to move out of the road. Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool if I had gotten that on camera. Oh man. All right, so anyway, this backup camera that I have, I'm loving it because now you can see the situation behind me. There is a car coming up, and I do have the camera pointed down a little bit so you can see when the brake lights come on. And that to me is golden, because especially when I'm editing these or about to release them, I can see, oh, my car is braking then. You normally you don't know because the car manages the braking for you with the regen. So the brake pedal will go down. Here we're turning right. It's slowing down a lot. Nobody behind us, as you can see. I love saying that. And it's just going awfully slow. So I would have gotten honked at. It had to take a little while to process that. And now that blue feedback you saw on the steering wheel is asking me to apply a little bit of torque. Now here, coming up after this light, it needs to get into the left turn lane, and then we have an unprotected left. This is one of my favorite places to test, and it's going to be tricky today because now we have quite a bit of traffic on the left. And hopefully, okay, they're piling up on the left lane. Nobody here behind us, coming up a little bit here now, someone behind us. And we're gonna have to make a left. So it's gonna have to get over really quickly. There is a van right now, it's blue here on the screen. When it's blue, that means that it notices an obstacle and it's basically contending with that. So now it's accelerating to try to go beyond them, but it couldn't. So now it has to jut in. Ooh, that car was blue and it still took the gap. That's exactly what it needed to do. That was perfect. Okay, here, left turn lane, getting over. Okay, awkward Okay, that person behind me was following awfully close. It did get into the left turn lane a little bit too late. Oh my gosh, don't tell me. Okay, good, it's corrected. You see the steering wheel? It actually corrected itself. Waiting here, very smart. It could have been a lot worse. I would have had to take over there. Looking for a gap. Looks like we do have a gap right here. Yes, it's taking it. Nice job. Very well done. Ah, that was beautiful. All right, coming down here. Now, once we get to this final destination, I am going to have to pull into a side street because this is what happened on my first drive, and that kind of helps the rest of the path go through. So you'll see here, once it comes up to this final path, it's funny because I've been testing this route a couple times, and the first time I was unlucky because someone came up right behind me, right in this spot here. And oh, that's funny. So I'm leading them on, and they think I'm giving them a turn, but I'm actually at my final destination. So right now I'm going to take over, and all right, it looks like this path may have changed just a little bit, but that's not going to stop us here from continuing the test. So we'll go ahead and turn it back on here, and we're going to take off. We still have this interesting right/left turn that's going to be very challenging. I'm zooming in here so you can see it on the display. That's going to be a very tricky one. It's never been able to do it correctly. So this is the spot coming up. We're really going to put it to the test. I have not tried this yet with version 10.10.2, so hopefully it makes it. So here we are, a pedestrian crossing the street, and it's doing very well, waiting for him actually before the line. Actually went to the left side a little bit out of caution to avoid him, it looks like, and now turning left here. So there are no cars and taking its time. Okay, there we go. Not bad. Okay, there's a squirrel. I don't think it has roadkill detection yet, unfortunately. So if there is something in the road, it will typically just go right over it. That includes potholes today. Now, if there is a trash receptacle, garbage bin in the road, it will stop for that. I mean, that's a large enough object, and it can recognize those. You'll see on the side of the street a lot of these garbage bins showing up. So it is trash day. It's just beeped at me saying apply slight turning force to the steering wheel there. So this is the very challenging moment. We're going to see it needs to turn right and then immediately get in the left turn lane. And there's quite a bit of traffic, and now one other car coming from the left. If it chooses to take this, it's not going to be able to make it. Okay, so now there's one other car coming. Okay, so now slowly creeping forward. If it's going to go, it needs to go right now. Okay, good. And now it needs to get all the way over to the left. I hate to see it fail. And yes, here we go. It's failing again. So, it did it again. And now it should notice that it missed it. But as you can see, it's slowing down completely. So I've not taken over yet. There's nobody behind us. And here it's trying to get in the left turn lane. So I do have to disengage. So to disengage, I'm going to push the right stalk up, and I'm going to accelerate forward. So pushing the right stalk up is the same as pressing on the brake pedal. So now as soon as it reroutes here, I'll go ahead and turn it back on. Okay, perfect. So turn it back on, and immediately gets into the other left turn lane, which is very smart. A couple times in the past, it would not do that. And the reason why I say that's smart is because, as you can see on the screen, we do have a left turn coming up fairly soon after this intersection. Okay, going through very confidently. I like that. That has improved maybe a tiny bit. Okay, so now going forward here in the next little left turn area, we'll be able to turn left. Okay, so right here. Nice. Okay, so that could be an improvement. In the past, it didn't stay in that left lane, like I said. So I'm liking that right now. And then once we go through here, it's kind of an interesting, quiet area. Not expecting too much traffic. The thing that has been interesting in these neighborhoods has been the stop signs. So when you come to a four-way stop, in the past it would hesitate quite a bit. And I tested that during the day and also at night. And I found, I had a hypothesis that it would perform a lot worse at night. In other words, it would take more time before turning right or left through a four-way stop. But what I found out is that it operates identically, whether it's daytime or nighttime. So we're going to see here it's kind of on its way to being nighttime. I'm not sure what time the sun sets. There's a lot of overcast here today, but it is 6:24 p.m. and any moment here when the sun does go down, the screen will change. I have it on the auto brightness, so it'll change to the night mode. There's a good chance we'll see that here in this video. Okay, it is left turn. We can go ahead, and the car is going. Nobody behind us. Very well done. No issues there. I've never had any issues there. Okay, and then coming through here, nothing new here that I'm observing. A couple trucks, a couple cars, vehicles on the other side of the road, but you know, we're not going to interfere with them. Car turning right here, another car coming up, so good thing it didn't try to go around them. Okay, and coming up here, putting the right turn signal on. And there is one car coming. It really should not go. Okay, it's a four-way stop. I take that back. So it should go. It did a good job. And their computer trumps human. I was thinking we had to do something differently there. All right, so coming up here, we're going to be turning left at this stop sign. All right, left turn signal goes on. Thankfully, no other cars here. There is someone coming up right behind us. Okay, and stopping completely. Very well done. And going left. Nice. All right, so while we're on the path here, rather than canceling out, what I can do is cancel it. It will keep going. Now it's waiting for the next destination. So I'm going to dial that in. And it's going to go ahead and calculate where we need to go. So as you can see here, we're going to turn right at this stop sign. Oh, no stop sign here. I take that back. We're turning right here at this intersection. Okay, very smooth. As I was mentioning before, you see the trash receptacles. So coming up here on the left side, you see those two that were mapped, and then up here some more. Zoom out a little bit. There you go. There you have 3 garbage bins there. So that's nothing new. That's been in there for a while. Okay, here at the stop sign. Creeping forward, checking for visibility. Okay, this is the same awkwardness where it would just go really slow at intersections in the past as well. I've not noticed any improvements there. Turning left here once again, it's going to slow down a little bit too much, I think. So if someone was behind us, they'd be like, why is this guy going so slow? Okay, and creeping forward. All right. Okay, so at this intersection on the left side, we have traffic that comes kind of out of nowhere. It's on a turn, so this is a tricky intersection. There's a guy coming up on the right with his dog. It is good to go. It needs to go right now. Okay, very well done. I didn't have any issues with that there. Okay, and then this is a fun little jog left and then right. Depending on the traffic situation, we've got 2 cars coming from the left, no cars on the right. Once these 2 cars pass, we will be good to go. All right, good to go. Now this is where if someone was behind me, I would be accelerating. I would be intervening. We're lucky that no traffic is here right now. And then turning right. So same slowness that I've experienced since version 10.3. So we are on version 10.10.2. Some people have 10.11.1 and some people have 10.11.2. But the majority of us, I think, are still on 10.10.2. All right, and coming through this neighborhood really well. So the first test that I did, okay, and we're arriving here. The first test that I did with full self-driving beta, I was in a neighborhood, and this just impressed the socks off of me. I mean, it's just so impressive to see it get through neighborhoods. So here it's turning left randomly. I'm going to have to cancel out of it. I don't know why. It kind of takes on a brain of its own with stuff like that. I don't know why it does that. So anyway, the next destination we dial in is home. So I'll go ahead and do that. And now that it's dialed in, we can turn it back on again. Okay, autopilot creeping forward, checking for visibility. Obviously no traffic around us right now. But again, it's just as slow as it used to be, so I don't see any improvements here. And turning left. All right, creeping, very slow. And does that, it had a little bit of a jerky move there. I'm not sure what it saw in the road, but it moved over to the left really, really abruptly there. All right, same slowness. So, yeah, if there was someone behind me, that would not have been the right thing to do. I should really be reporting these. This slowness or awkwardness, as I like to call it, is definitely not the right way to drive. It's just too slow. Okay, so it is good to go, and it really should go right now. It's, again, going really slow. And if anything, this system is almost too safe. So it always errs on the side of caution. The only times where it's unsafe is, like, for example, back there, the challenge of this entire video, it was not getting the left turn lane. And it just kind of hung out in the middle of the road. And the left turn signal, thankfully, was on. But if someone had come up behind us, they'd be really upset. You know, what is this guy doing? And that's where the bumper sticker comes into play. I really think it's mandatory for anybody that's using Beta. And I'm surprised, as I've said in some of my previous videos, I'm really surprised that Tesla hasn't given us some sort of indicator as we're out on the roads. But then again, that would bring more attention to the Beta program, probably to the public. And then, you know, it also, some people have commented very correctly that if someone knows that you are testing full self-driving Beta and it's in beta mode, that they can take advantage of you and, you know, try to screw with your car, or who knows, like, how that would look with an insurance claim as well. You know, well, my car was driving all by itself, and I just don't even want to even go there. But obviously you have to think about that. Okay, so here, very awkward. This other car, we had the right of way. We should have gone, but that other car went because my car was going too slow. Here again, it's going really, really slow. I'm going to let it be awkward. Okay, there we go. Finally, it was really, really too slow there. And I'm okay because we're in a quiet neighborhood. But again, I'm going to report that because that really should not have happened like that. It should be a little bit quicker to react. So that is the test for today. Unfortunately, no improvements that I noticed there. I'm really hopeful that it will improve here as I continue to test in these neighborhood areas. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. We'll see you in the next video.